All right, good morning. It is 11 o'clock. My name is Jenna Pontius, and I'm the Public Services Librarian at the Riverside County Law Library. And we are hosting our virtual reference fair today. And we now have a presentation from Inland County's Legal Services. And Paulette will be starting the presentation. So take it away, Paulette.
Great. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you for having us this morning, and thank everyone for participating in today's resource fair. Today, I'm going to be presenting alongside Peter Linzhai. He is the director of the Low Income Tax Clinic. And so I'm going to start the presentation off talking a little bit about ICLS and some of the resources and services that we provide. I'm also going to talk about what we do on the team that I participate in, and it's called the Community Engagement Team, and talk a little bit about some of the workshops and clinics that we have up and coming in these next few months. And so I'm going to get started by talking about the mission. What is the mission of ICLS or at ICLS? And our mission is pursuing justice and equality for low-income people through advocacy and community education, and treating all with dignity and respect. That's what we strive to do here at ICLS. And I like to say that that is what we do here at ICLS. ICLS is a nonprofit 501c3 corporation. We provide legal assistance to low-income individuals, families, and seniors, and we do that free of charge. We also service, like Ayala, we service the San Bernardino and Riverside counties. We have offices in Indio, Riverside, Ontario, San Bernardino, and Victorville. And we do have stationary offices, but we are working remotely at this time. And so we are able to continue to provide services to Riverside and San Bernardino County, even during the pandemic. Our executive director is Daryl Moore, and our main office is located in Riverside, and that's at 1040 Iowa Avenue, Suite 109. And there you see our toll-free line, and I'll talk a little bit more about how that toll-free number can be beneficial to you. How do we, let me move my bar here. I'm going to talk a little bit about our client eligibility as well. And so we are income-based, and we also look at the financial guidelines that have been established by the federal government and that are established by our ICLS board of directors. We look at some priority issues. Those priority issues of eligibility are established by our ICLS board of directors. We also look at legal status, and legal status, we look at whether you are a US citizen, a legal permanent resident, or if you qualify under VAWA, and that's Violence Against Women's Act. The types of services that we provide at Ayala: we provide counseling and advice on most civil legal issues. We do not provide legal services on any criminal matters. However, like Ayala, we do provide services for expungement. And so although it's in the realm of a criminal matter, we do provide those services on expunging criminal records, as well as early terminations of probation as well. We do handle brief services. We do document preparation, drafting letters on behalf of clients, etc. We can negotiate on behalf of clients as well. And we represent clients in court. We also represent clients during administrative hearings. We also provide presentations and community education to the community, to Riverside and San Bernardino counties, and we do that through our workshops as well as through the clinics that we provide. We do also provide no conflict issues in which there are several, or there may be limited fee generating cases. And so as you can see here, we do provide a list of services that can be beneficial to the community here in the Inland Empire. The types of community education and availabilities or opportunities that we have available are, and these are the resources that we provide here at ICLS. And so you're going to see a list of basically our practice group areas. And so we do provide community education opportunities in landlord and tenant and affordable housing opportunities, as well as estate planning. I know that someone in the previous session asked about wills. So we do provide services on a limited basis to assisting clients with preparation of maybe a California simple will, advanced healthcare directive, or a power of attorney. Public benefits is another area that we provide community education available services. Our consumer debt and tax practice group provides services, and I'm going to go through a specific list of the areas or some of the areas in which the practice group provides benefits and services and resources. And so Peter is going to talk more so about the tax portion of this particular practice group. We have a healthcare practice group, and they deal with and they handle cases dealing with Medicare and Medi-Cal. We have a domestic violence practice group, and we do provide community education in that area as well as elder abuse and family law issues. How do we offer, or why our services are free, is that we have a partnership of various funders and grantors. And as you can see, I've just listed 3. I believe we have about 20 or so funders and grantors who assist us with monetary or financial assistance in order to allow us to provide free services to our clients. Our biggest funder is Legal Services Corporation. And so we are working together with them, and we also are working together with the State Bar of California, in which attorneys who are in private practice have a client trust fund, and the interest from that trust fund gets distributed through the California State Bar to organizations who are providing legal services to the community. We're working with One Justice currently for our small business clinics that we are putting on, and put on a few last year. And so that organization is assisting us with bringing a different area of services, new services for ICLS. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about a clinic that we are providing next month, and we are in partnership with One Justice on that clinic. I'm going to talk about the practice groups, and I'm going to go into a little bit more specifics for each area and the services that they provide. And I'm saying services, but I really want you to look at those services as resources and how we can be a resource to you through these practice groups. But first, I'm going to just put up a list of our practice group directors. And these individuals spearhead each team, each practice group, and each practice group encompasses attorneys, paralegals, maybe social workers, and our intake specialists to assist us with the work that we do here at ICLS. And so there are 8 practice group directors at ICLS. The first practice group area that I'm going to discuss deals with our intake and outreach practice group. And this particular practice group assists people who are 60 years and over. And like I said, in estate planning, financial power of attorneys, advanced healthcare directives, simple wills. If you have an issue that pertains to maybe you're an elder and you are experiencing some sort of abuse, and that abuse could unfortunately come from a family member, a friend, a business, any type of issue that pertains to elder abuse, we can assist you with that service. Affidavits of death, of joint tenancy. We do not handle cases or we do not deal with trust matters, guardianships, or conservatorships. Our family law practice group can assist you in areas of dissolution, divorce, legal separation, paternity actions, child custody and visitation, domestic violence restraining orders, and other family law issues. Next up, we have our systemic and impact practice group. And this is a hybrid, in my opinion, practice group, because this practice group deals with issues affecting a large group of clients arising from ICLS core priorities. And so those core priorities are basically our practice group areas. And so if there's a case that originates in, let's say, family law or public benefits that deals with maybe general relief matters, and that particular case is going to affect more than one person, then this is the group that is going to handle that litigation matter. They strive to preserve access to the public through litigation, and they are the group that handles our complex litigation. Next up, someone asked about immigration. We do offer immigration services in terms of domestic violence, and it has domestic violence only. But we do assist with, let me get back there, U visas, VAWA self-petitions, T visas, naturalization and citizenship. Our public benefits practice group, and I have a couple of arrows that indicate some of the areas that they also assist with under this practice group, and that's special education and the enforcement of a student's special education rights. They handle matters that may affect a child's IEP, individualized education plan. They also assist with Social Security issues, disability insurance issues, issues that pertain or revolve around CalWORKS, which is your cash aid, CalFresh, general relief, the cash assistance program for immigrants, in-home service support services, unemployment claims and appeals. We do have a workshop that we started last year in which we were informing Californians about unemployment issues as they pertain to COVID. And let's see here. And so again, for the education practice group, like I said, they assist with the access to education and challenging school district policies as it pertains to your child's rights. Our health law practice groups provides resources in things such as the denial of services and treatment, dealing with Medi-Cal, share of cost, Medi-Cal managed care, Medicare extra help, Medi-Medi beneficiaries, Cal-Medi Connect ombudsman services, Cover California advanced premium tax credit eligibility, cost sharing reductions, and medical debts. And so those are areas in which those particular practice groups can be of assistance. One of our larger practice group areas is the consumer practice group area, and they handle things all dealing with consumer, they handle things dealing with bankruptcy and taxation. But if you are experiencing some issues with your credit card collection issues, they can assist you in that area as well. Medical debt collection cases, they can handle. Auto loan fraud. So if there's an issue that you're in need of, maybe you're experiencing some sort of lemon law issue, or, well, I won't say lemon law issue because that doesn't necessarily go along with auto loan fraud, but definitely if there's an issue with your auto loan and you believe that you have been subjected to some sort of fraudulent behavior because of the loan that you have, ICLS can assist you with things like that, or those types of issues, and other consumer debt issues as well. And again, taxation and bankruptcy assistance, Peter's going to talk more about that, so I'm just going to show you some of the areas in which he may go into during his presentation. Another practice group and another large practice group at ICLS is our housing practice group. And during the pandemic and the situation in which we are faced with today, this practice group is really preparing on providing community education and clinics that will assist renters and homeowners during the pandemic. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about a presentation that we have coming up this month as well as next month, and it's going to be spearheaded by our practice group. And some of the issues and areas that we're able to assist you with are unlawful detainers, foreclosure prevention, the affordable housing termination, including vouchers, the LIHTC, project-based, the VASH, and assistance in signing up for and other issues. I can't see that because my eviction defense, as well as, and signing up for waiting lists. They can assist with eviction defense, foreclosure prevention, mortgage and real estate fraud, mobile home tenancies, and like I said, UD, unlawful detainer clinics. We are offering those, and I believe they are on a first come, first served basis. I want to take a brief pause here before I go into my next section, because I want to reflect on a good story that I'd like to share with you that generated through ICLS. And as you can see on the screen, we have two individuals who are rejoicing or celebrating or taking in the moment of something. We don't know if it's they received a great score on a test. We don't know if they just purchased a home. We can't tell from this photograph. We can't even tell if they are rejoicing because of a good story or good services that were provided by one of our ICLS attorneys or advocates. But I want to share this good story with you because I believe that after the results were seen as a result of helping our client, maybe this client felt like the individuals in the photographs that you see here. And so before seeking ICLS's assistance, the client was struck and injured by a drunk driver. The client was left disabled, requiring the help of a service animal. The client's landlord denied client's request for reasonable accommodations to the client's mobile home and refused to accept rent without a pet fee. Now, I can only imagine how that client felt after having experienced this horrific accident and becoming disabled and needing the services of the service animal and being denied a reasonable accommodation. And the client was unable to pay for the rent as well as pay the additional pet fee. So what happened is the landlord filed for an eviction, as well as filing a motion of summary judgment to evict the client sooner. But thanks to ICLS housing attorneys, the eviction was dismissed, a settlement was reached, requiring the landlord to develop anti-discrimination policies for the entire mobile home park, as well as having to do 3 years of annual fair housing training. And in the end, the client received $30,000 minus any back fees that were owed to the landlord. But can you just imagine the elation and the feeling of relief after having received such services by an organization who is committed to providing quality, high quality legal services to low income individuals? The team in which I am a part of is the community engagement team. And on our team, there are 3 of us. We have our director, our deputy director, Tori Prawl-Hedrick. There's me, of course, as the pro bono coordinator. We have our communications and development coordinator, Gabriela Perez, as well as our new development officer, Jared Ellis. And so as a team, what we do is we go out into the community and we provide community education about the services in which we provide at ICLS. And so we also put on clinics and partner with our other practice group directors and teams in order to provide a full service of community outreach and information to Riverside and San Bernardino County. Our development director handles our fundraising as well as assisting us with receiving sponsorships to assist us with the continuing providing of legal services to the community. We do have our social media platforms, and our communication director handles all things social media as well as all things marketing. And so this team has put together so that we can continue to remain engaged with the community. And so I would be remiss if I did not discuss the pro bono opportunities that we have here at ICLS, as well as our private attorney involvement program that we have here. And so pro bono, we seek to bring on volunteers who provide services free of charge to our clients, as well as looking for private attorneys, paralegals, law students, and other professionals volunteering with ICLS to also partner with us to provide mentorship to our ICLS attorneys and advocates and staff members, but also to partner with us to continue to push our mission and goals of assisting low-income individuals and clients here in the Inland Empire. The types of volunteers that assist us with providing services to the community are law students, law school graduates, paralegals, attorneys, undergraduates, college students, and other professionals. And those other professionals that we are seeking assistance from would be persons who are interested in translating, people who may be social workers, or someone, investigators, or someone who has a service to provide and a service that we can utilize to continue providing our services. The opportunities that we have for volunteers would be workshops, clinics, research, casework. We need interpreters to do interpretations, as well as to assist with special projects. Currently, we have a group of undergrad students who are assisting our executive team with providing answers to our LSC application. And so we're looking forward to working and partnering with all of the volunteers who come through our doors and willing to assist us with our main goal of providing high quality services to the Inland Empire. Our current volunteer activities, we are getting prepared for our 2021 Summer Law Student Internship Program. Last year was our first year putting forth this program. We did it virtually. It was a great event, in my opinion. And all the services and all of the training that the law students were able to gain were done remotely. We did have a couple of students who were able to go to court once the courts opened, and were able to observe and gain some experience and insight by going to court. Last year, we had a couple of Know Your Child special education rights during COVID, and this particular workshop was put on by one of our volunteer attorneys alongside our public benefits practice group director, Marsha Johnson. And so we are in the process of bringing this particular workshop back for this upcoming year. We also have a small business clinic or clinics coming up. We had 2 clinics last year that we partnered with, like I said, with One Justice. We have an upcoming clinic on February the 14th, in which we are going to be assisting small business owners here in the Inland Empire with issues that may entail things like dealing with their commercial lease, or how do I start my LLC? How do I, and this one comes up a lot, which is why I'm gonna bring it up. It's because some people are applying for a PPP or a small business loan and they are being denied. And so we have received several questions about how to respond to those denials. And so in these particular small business clinics, those are the types of topics and areas that we are here and available to assist small business owners here in the Inland Empire with. Each of our practice group areas, they provide their own outreach. And so in your packet, and Jenna, if you don't have this, I can send it to you. You should receive information about some Health Consumer Alliance and health law areas that we provided resources or information to Jenna about Medi-Cal and managed care. It's a question and answer handout, and it deals with what is Medi-Cal, what is a Medi-Cal managed care plan, what will my health care plan provide, in addition to receiving information from managed healthcare. A second handout on health coverages. It talks about Cover California, the new health insurance marketplace. It talks about health plans for people with both Medicare and Medi-Cal, as well as talking about healthcare health plans. And so I hope that that information, and it also has 188 and 1-800 numbers that you can consult if you have more information about your healthcare needs. And the upcoming workshops and clinics that we have available, again, we are presenting a housing presentation with San Bernardino Councilman Damon Alexander on January the 28th. And that is going to be from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. We will be talking about renters' rights and protections as it pertains to COVID, and in particular as it pertains to AB Assembly Bill 3088. In February, we will have a homeowners' rights and protections workshop on February the 25th from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. It's going to be via Zoom. We are on Eventbrite for these particular presentations, but we're also, you can register via our website. And so you can go there. Gabriella has placed information on our websites on registering for these events. So right now, you cannot register for the homeowners' rights protections workshop, but that link will be placed on our website momentarily. You can register for the renters' rights protections workshop. You can also register via our website for our small business clinic for February the 14th. The small business clinic is limited to the first 4 business owners. We want to keep it small because we want to make sure that we are catering and adhering to and giving business owners quality time to be able to sit down with them and an attorney and talk about those necessary or pertinent legal issues that they are experiencing. And so when you register for the small business clinic, there are some questions that you're going to be asked during the registration process that will better assist us with eligibility and also with will assist us with finding more out about your legal need. And so you will receive an appointment time, and at your scheduled appointment time, that's when you'll sit down and meet the volunteer attorney who has been assigned to your particular case or issue. And again, those small business issues that we are going to be addressing or available to assist you with are general small business questions, as well as assisting you with any commercial lease questions or issues that you may have. What are the benefits? And this is a slide that when I put it together, I was really encouraged and really gung-ho about, because a lot of times, you know, people think, well, what's in it for me? And so there's a lot that you can learn and you can receive from volunteering at ICLS. And we do provide training, free MCLE for attorneys, as well as other topic areas will be covered while you're volunteering with us. There's mentorship. And so volunteers are linked up with either a practice group director or a senior staff member at our organization. And so that's one way to get some experience. And also we do provide malpractice professional liability coverage for volunteers who are covering cases or working on cases within the organization. Recognition, that I can't say this enough, that we so appreciate all of the volunteers who come to assist us in providing services to ICLS. And so we recognize our volunteers, I'm going to say throughout the year, because I send out emails to our volunteers regularly, just thanking them for their service that they are providing to our clients. But annually, we do a volunteer recognition event. Our last one was in October, where we honored 3 exceptional volunteers. And so it was a wonderful evening, a wonderful night, even though it was virtual. And so it was our way of saying thank you to those and to all of our volunteers, not just to those 3 exceptional volunteers for the service and for them partnering with us to provide those exemplary services. And then lastly, there's nothing like camaraderie. Camaraderie, you know, being a part of a team, being part of a group, being part of an organization that has a strong mission and has strong ties to the Inland Empire. ICLS has been in the Inland Empire for over 60 years. And that says a lot. It says a lot about our staying power, and it says a lot about what we do and who we are in this community. How do you join ICLS as a volunteer? You can go to volunteer@icls.org and submit your email of interest. There is an ICLS volunteer application that you will need to complete and return. There will be a volunteer interview and an onboarding and placement process. We are looking for volunteers now. We're looking to build our estate planning clinic so that we can bring the community those services on how to prepare a simple will, how to prepare an advanced healthcare directive or a power of attorney. We're also looking for volunteers for our housing landlord and tenant workshops, as well as our consumer practice group is looking specifically for paralegals to assist them with a plethora of tasks and service areas for our community. And so those things could be things like document preparation, it could be answering phone calls or doing research. But these are the 3 areas in which we are in a high demand for volunteers. And if you or someone you know has experience in any of these areas, please send an email of interest to volunteer@icls.org. If you need our services, we are here. If you qualify, you can contact us at 1-888-245-4257. Or if you are a person 60 and over, there is a special dedicated intake line where our intake specialists, and for each line, you're going to be in contact with one of our intake specialists. But for 60 and over, that number is 1-800-977-4257. Or in the day and age that we're living in now, you can also contact and reach us and submit an application of eligibility on our website at www.inlandlegal.org. And that information will reach an intake specialist who will review it and contact you regarding your application. We are working remotely, but I will like to say that we are available. We are available Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. And if you're applying online, that's 24/7 to get that information over to us to see how best or if we can assist you. And if you need any more information about volunteering or about ICLS, my name is Paulette Gray, and I am the Pro Bono Coordinator. I can be reached at pgray@icls.org, or you can contact me at 951-368-2578. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my co-presenter, Peter Linzhai.
Good morning, everyone. Give me 1 second while I pull up my presentation here. Good morning, everyone. My name is Peter Linzhai, and I am with the Low Income Taxpayer Clinic at Inland County's Legal Services. We assist with tax issues that a taxpayer may have against the IRS. A low income taxpayer clinic, or sometimes known as an LITC, is a clinic or are clinics that are nationwide, that offer tax assistance. We don't do tax preparation, but we handle tax controversies against the IRS, and also assist if the taxpayer needs to resolve the controversy in tax court. And just in California alone, there's numerous LITCs located in Los Angeles, and also Northern California and San Diego. We assist with clients in Riverside and San Bernardino predominantly, but we can also assist with other clients where they can't reach another LITC elsewhere. All right, so an LITC can represent you in before the IRS or in tax court regarding issues such as audits, appeals, tax collection matters, and other tax disputes, depending on your specific matter and availability of our clinic resources. Our services are free as long as you are income eligible for our services. We also assist taxpayers who are self-employed, having their own business. We don't assist corporations or partnerships. Some of the common controversies that we assist with are listed here: the earned income credit, audits, appeals, identity theft, litigation, innocent spouse, tax debt settlement, and collections. All right, and I'm going to go over some of these issues if you are not familiar with what they are, and maybe you do have an issue with the IRS pertinent to these issues and you just didn't know about it. All right, so low-income taxpayers, if you are one, you should be aware that you are entitled to claim the Earned Income Credit, which is a credit for low-income individuals. And this is a refundable credit. And to qualify for the Earned Income Credit, you must meet certain requirements when you file your tax return. And even if you do not owe any taxes or are not required to file, you can still claim the Earned Income Credit. So the Earned Income Credit reduces the amount of tax you owe and may give you one. However, because this is a credit and money provided to a taxpayer, this issue becomes a common issue that's audited by the IRS, and many taxpayers need help with resolving this issue with IRS so that they can get their credit or refund after they file their return. All right, so just to give you an idea of how much you can claim depending on your income, here's the income caps for claiming the earned income credit depending on your family size. Our LITC also assists with audits. And what an audit is a review examination of an individual's accounts and financial information to ensure that information is reported correctly according to the tax laws and to verify the reported amount of tax that is correct. So many people get afraid, when they get a notice from the IRS that they're being audited, but the IRS sometimes just flags certain accounts or sometimes just randomly selects certain accounts to be audited. So you don't need to be afraid. And if you do get audited, you can contact our office and we can see if we can assist you with preparing for the audit and responding to the audit. And again, we assist individuals and also individuals who are self-employed. One thing to remember if you get audited or even before you get audited, make sure you keep good records of anything that you're claiming on your tax returns. And especially if you're self-employed, make sure that you keep all your receipts, records, and invoices. All right, so the appeal system. We assist with taxpayers who need to appeal any decision made by the IRS. All right, because people sometimes disagree on tax matters. The IRS has an appeal system. Most differences can be settled within the system without going to tax court. So sometimes the IRS submits a response to an audit and the examiner comes back with a decision that they disagree with. The taxpayer has a right to appeal that decision. And the appeal process is different from the examination process, and it's independent. So the taxpayer has a second chance to have their issue heard. All right, another issue that we assist with is identity theft that's related to the taxpayer's tax return or tax account. Tax-related identity theft happens when someone steals your personal information to commit tax fraud. Your taxes can be affected if your Social Security number is used to file a fraudulent return or to claim a refund or credit. And so you will need to go through procedures to verify your identity, and then safeguards will be implemented afterwards so that the IRS can verify your identity and communicate with you regarding returns, refunds, or other matters. And identity theft is actually a common issue or more common than you would expect with the IRS because many people get their Social Security number used for work and income is assessed on them where they never worked for the employer, and they get assessed taxes, which the IRS tells them they owe. And so the taxpayer needs to resolve the identity theft in order for them to not have this tax assessment against them. Tax court litigation. So a taxpayer may have the opportunity to litigate their tax matter in tax court, which is a more neutral forum than the IRS. So when you try to resolve the issue between the IRS, you're talking to IRS representatives, whereas when you file a tax court petition, you're talking to the judge, and the judge knows that they're just, they need to be a neutral third party and listen to both sides and keep the taxpayer in mind, the taxpayer's interest in mind, and understand that taxpayer has the taxpayer's Bill of Rights. So certain issues that come up, such as assessments, assessment disputes can be litigated in tax court. The taxpayer needs to file a petition to start a tax court case. And remember that there's deadlines or timeframes that you need to file a tax court petition by. So if you get a IRS notice saying that, okay, you have an assessment, and if you disagree with it, you need to file a tax court petition within the 90 days, make sure you do that. Even if you're 1 day late, you lose that right to file a tax court petition and have your case heard in the neutral forum. Innocent spouse relief. So innocent spouse relief is another common area that we assist with because a lot of it has to deal with domestic violence. So by requesting innocent spouse relief, you can be relieved of responsibility for paying tax, interest, and penalties if your spouse or former spouse improperly reported items or omitted items on your tax return. Generally, innocent spouse relief is available if the tax assessment was the sole responsibility of the other spouse and not your responsibility. So we have a lot of taxpayers that come to us who may have been, let's say, the home caretaker at home and didn't really make the income, wasn't responsible for preparing the taxes, didn't know anything about the income or the tax return that was filed. The spouse is now divorced from the other spouse and they're still on the hook for that tax liability. And so we assist with the spouse in trying to remove that tax liability because we try to argue that they should have never been held responsible for it due to the fact of the lack of knowledge and lack of control of how the taxes could have been handled. All right, tax debt settlement and collections. So that's another big area that we work with when a taxpayer is assessed taxes and there's no disagreement about the taxes owed and they just can't pay the tax debt, then we try to offer them options. Some of these options may include an offer in compromise where the taxpayer offers to settle the tax debt for a lower amount, be placed in a currently not collectible status so that the IRS won't be pursuing liens or levies or garnishments against the taxpayer while they're eligible for that currently not collectible status, or the taxpayer into an agreement if they're able to do so, so that the taxpayer can make monthly payments towards their tax debt. All right. And another issue that we've been helping with is currently this past year is with the economic impact payment, which is going to be called the recovery rebate credit this coming year. The opportunity to claim the economic impact payment has passed, and taxpayers need assistance who will now be trying to claim that credit will need to file their 2020 returns to claim it. And if you have any questions, you can always contact our office regarding those issues. And so those are the common issues that our office assists with. If you think that you have an issue, please reach out to us, call our intake line, or go onto our website and submit an intake online. All right, thank you very much. And with that, Jenna, I'm going to pass it back to you.
Thank you, Peter and Paulette. So we did have some questions. There was an earlier question of, do you assist people with student loans, with student loan issues?
Peter, I'm going to defer to you on that one.
So it depends on the student loan. Our consumer team may be able to assist you if the creditor is actively pursuing the debt and you're unable to pay it, and they've filed some type of court action against you. But as far as discussions with the creditor and communicating with the creditor themselves, I don't believe any of our practice groups actually assist with that. That's out of our scope of assistance.
Okay, Veronica did also answer that question in the chat, and so Ayala helps with student loans. And then there was a question in the Q&A. Do you have offices in other states?
So Inland County Legal Services, as an organization as a whole, with all the services provided, is only located in Riverside and San Bernardino County. However, there's other legal aids that you can go out to. Low-income taxpayer clinics are located nationwide. They're predominantly in major cities. And if you can go to the IRS website or just search low-income taxpayer clinic and find a map of where all the LITCs are located.
Thank you, Peter. And then I wanted to add that we partner with ICLS to host a low-income taxpayer clinic, and we do that every fourth Tuesday at 3. So we are having one on.
You just muted yourself, Jenna.
I did mute myself. So I'm putting in the chat a link to the low-income taxpayer clinic that we host with ICLS. It's on January 26th at 3 p.m. and it's going to be on collection alternatives. We have the low-income taxpayer clinic with ICLS every fourth Tuesday of the month at 3 p.m. And someone has asked, do you assist people who live in the high desert?
Yes, we have an office in Indio, and I know they service Indio, Palm Desert, Palm Springs, and so we do offer assistance out there. I believe that's the high desert, right?
Indio would be Victorville.
So we do have an office in Victorville as well, and that office services the neighboring communities, as long as they're in San Bernardino County.
Okay. And I don't see any other questions coming through. Paulette and Peter, do you want to make your slides available to the attendees following the presentation?
Yes, I'll send them over to you, or mine over to you, Jenna.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
So I will send the slides along with the recording. I want to send everything all at once. So I'd like to do that within a week of this event to the attendees, sending the slides and the recording. And Paulette, you had mentioned the flyers for Medi-Cal and something else. I put links.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
They're from the Health Consumer Alliance, as well as the Healthcare Department of Managed Healthcare.
Okay, so I put those earlier in the chat. I put links to them for those brochures, and I can also include those brochures in the roundup email with all of the slides and the recording.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I don't see any other questions. Yeah, that is done. And so the next session will start at 1 p.m. and that will be with the Riverside Superior Court. So from 12 to 1, there will not be a program. It's going to be lunchtime, and we will start again at 1. If you have others that you want to invite, I opened the registration page again to have them register. And thank you, Paulette and Peter and Veronica, for joining us today. It was very informative. I had several people reach out to me saying that the information was really helpful for them. So thank you for that. And if anybody has any questions, we do still have some time before 12 p.m. So please feel free to use the chat or the Q&A. And we will see you again at 1 p.m. with the Riverside Superior Court. And as I said before, I will make the recording and the presentation slides available in about a week after the program. I just want to make sure that the recording downloads correctly and there are no issues.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you for having us a part of this resource fair.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Jenna.
You're welcome. Thank you. And again,